Hey everyone, it's been a while. Just stuff going on. I'm sure you guys understand. But I'm gonna take you guys through a standard deck. It's gonna be a little bit different. I'm just gonna scroll through it through the view. Let me know which way you guys prefer. I'm gonna try to start making these weekly. They're just not gonna be as scripted. If you guys preferred how I had it scripted, let me know. I really appreciate it, especially since I don't have that many videos up. So I'm gonna go. I call it creation. A lot of people call it ADP. I'm sure if you've played standard, you've seen some version of this deck. Arceus, Dialga, Palkia. I run my own version. I don't really net deck. I haven't really wanted to put this deck up just because I really like having everything full art, and this deck's just kind of a mess right now. But I figured it's a good time to post this deck list up. So I know Boss's Orders is out. However, I just feel having a supporter um, just to essentially Pokemon Catcher just feels too unnecessary. It is good, you get those wins, but it does you better get that prize if you're playing it. So I like running Fion. It's just good in case you have those walls that you need to get around. Just ADP. I guess you can call this ADPz. Um, just hits for a lot. You can usually get around it. I mean, there's going to be some challenges, but even if you're fighting against Zekrom, you can normally hit anything out. The biggest problem I have are walls. So I like running Fion instead of Boss's Order. I was trying not to run this. I'm not a fan of um, running just supporters, or I should say Pokemon that have an ability just to basically be a supporter. I try to just run the supporters. However, I do like having the Dende, especially now that we have Quick Ball instead of having to do Nest Ball. Just being able to just search and draw in the middle of a turn is really great. So I really tried. That's why he's only at one. You'll see here I only put one in. Um, I just feel it's a great ability. I'm not going to deny that, but at 160 HP, I don't like this being my starter, and then you're not able to get him back. But he's way too good. So I left him at one, and I have more than enough Pokemon. I don't even mind if I get a Fion as my opener, but I hate starting the Dende, so I mitigated that, and you'll see by the amount of the other Pokemon I run. Keldeo is always one of those cards where I want to take him out, but I'll always run against those decks where it's like, nope, too good. Sonic Edge is just too good, in my opinion, to not run this card. Just being able to just ignore effects and his wall or his ability, Pure of Heart. It's just great because a lot of people don't know what he does, and I know that's not a good way to win. But let's face it, we're playing online. Misclicking is unfortunately a thing. Not reading the cards is thing, which I don't understand because you can easily go like, "What is this card? Oh, it's the Dende. Let me read it." But it is it unfortunately does get you wins when people don't read what Pure of Heart does. But Pure of Heart, and along with just being able to attack through this, keep in mind it's only 110, but after you attack with ADP, that extra 30 damage does a lot. Unfortunately, it doesn't kill all walls, um, but this will get you through it a little bit if you can't get the Fion to go around. Um, and by I've been using the term walls, but I'm talking about like anything with an ability that prevents you from attacking with a GX, anything that's prize denial, anything like that is what I mean by walls. This Pure of Heart and Fion kind of get you through that. It's a combined effort. And the moment on alter creation is just way too good. Just two energies increases your prize card. Like when I first started running Durant and expanded, I hated this card and I hated it so much I actually had to build a deck around it. Um, just an extra prize plus 30 damage for the rest of the game is ridiculous. This is, in my opinion, the best GX attack. in the format. Um, and Ultra Ray is broken as well. So you attack this the one turn, start getting your extra prize card. Ultra Ray getting that 180 by the time you do this, which knocks out a lot of Pokemon. They have to do HP creep now with the newer sets. That's why you see a lot of that 190 HPG or V Pokemon. And just being able to charge up your Pokemon with energy. 3 basics, like you set up your next Pokemon. Even if he gets knocked out and you lose those 3 prizes, you're taking 2 to 4 prizes. That's pretty great. So more. I like running 3, even though I know if you knock out 2. But again, it's just I do not want to start the Dende, and I feel this just increases consistency. 4 of this guy here, mainly because getting this ability turn 1 is amazing. When your opponent's like, I'm gonna go second because I get to use my supporters, you're like, I get a little mini supporter turn 1. And that's about the only time I use this, or I can't attack. His attack's just too good. And 230 damage, 260 after Alter Creation is just incredible. Metal saucers, because you have to have metal saucers. It just lets you'll see with the trainers in this deck, you're going to be discarding a lot of cards. So might as well discard those metal energies and try to get this guy set up. If you can't get him set up with Ultimate Ray, um, getting him set up with Metal Saucer is amazing. Um, and Tag Team, there's a lot of tag team cards in this. ADP, this basically lets you just search out an attacker. And once we're dealing with Mallow and Lena, as well as Cynthia, these cards are just amazing. Uh, Especially because you can just search them out like nothing. This will let you heal / switch. This will let you draw more cards. It's just the best way around. I run 4 switches because you need to get out of special conditions. You need to just get out of there. I know it's kind of weird running switches as opposed to being very aggressive with boss's orders, but I feel the best offense in this deck is just being versatile, being ready to switch at a moment's notice. Pun very much intentional there. You just have to be able to switch. Um, Great Ball or Quick Ball, again, like I said, this deck's amazing. It lets you discard cards so you can get that metal energy into the discard pile. It lets you search out for Dedenne, unlike Nest Ball. Nest Ball didn't let you benefit from Dedenne. It lets you search out for Fion. Just every card in here is a basic, which again, that's why you want to run this Keldeo, because you're basic heavy. You need it to go against anything that walls basic Pokemon. Chaotic Swole, this keeps a lot of strategies at bay. So essentially, you're just kind of preventing them from setting up their strategy by basically denying them 2 stadiums if they're not running anything to get rid of this. Mallow and Lena, like I said, you just discard 2 cards, preferably Metal Energy, preferably another supporter if you want to use your Cynthia later. That's fine too. I only run 2 because you don't want to run too much healing. I very much prefer being able to draw than having the heal. You can take a couple hits and be fine, but being able to just tag call everybody, just being able to grab that and another card that'll help you discard with it. Usually I'll grab both of these and discard one of them with the effect of the other. At a moment's notice is great. Cynthia, you get your support back and it's draw. It's just great. I honestly just love it. For it's a better. I'm not sure how many of you have played Heart Gold Soul Silver back in the day, but it's a better Engineer's Adjustment because it's any card. Engineer's Adjustment was you discarded an energy and you drew 4. This card's just a better version of that, and you get the supporter back. Or if you just want your supporter back, which I've never done it for just that effect, you can. So, Tate and Lisa. We got to talk Tate and Lisa. I feel this card is very underrated. because it's so versatile. It lets you switch out, which I feel is an underrated effect, especially with all the special conditions out there. And it lets you draw 5. Now, yes, this is less than Cynthia, but they're worth it because of the versatility. I've used Switch so many times when I'm like stuck and paralyzed, asleep. I just need to get out of there. Switching's just very good. So, Murney. Murney is it's one of those cards where it's at first I didn't understand it, but playing a deck like this, you definitely need her in here. Just because you lose, your opponent gets so much card advantage by knocking out your Pokemon and drawing that you might as well make them shuffle it back in right afterwards. They'll be at a huge advantage if you don't limit that hand size. And what I like about her is just knowing that when I play her, it's kind of like just drawing straight off the top of the deck. I'm not a fan of Tated Lisa when I have to shuffle and draw because I'm like, great, I didn't want these cards anyway, and I got them back. Knowing that I'm at least not getting the same exact cards back, maybe I get a different copy of it back from my deck, but not knowing that I'm not going to get the same cards back is great. Aurora Energy I started running instead of Rainbow Energy just because the damage. Those 10 damages do matter at the end, and just honestly, it's supposed to be a drawback of the card, but being able to discard another card is really helpful when you're trying to get rid of these metal energy guys. I run 3 just because you don't want to lose too much of it. If I were to run another special energy, I would probably put a metal rainbow energy back in. Metals, we have a total of 3, 4, 7, 10. 10 metals. You unfortunately Zacian, I always pronounced his name wrong. He only takes metal. You can't do any colorless on him, so you need a lot of metal. Sometimes I have to run the Aurora Energy on him. I prefer it on ADP, but yeah, you got to do what you got to do. You want to run the basics so you can charge up a Keldeo if you need to. There's only enough to charge up 2 Keldeos or 1 Keldeo and have the extra water energy for ADP. Aurora Energy is a good way to kind of do that. But yeah, let's take a look at this deck in action. In case you guys are curious, I do run the Arceus coin. Just because I'm like, hey, the A has to stand for something, might as well run the Arceus coin. I like running the legendary bird trio just because, I mean, I'm not aware of there being a legendary deckbox trio. If there is, please let me know. I'm very interested. And I just like the black and white sleeves. Uh, but let's take a look at how this does. So this is the non-Keldeo version. Maybe I'll do a video on that, but Keldeo, I think, just makes a big difference. So let's see who we're playing against here. So Ani 29. Take a look at this game. All right, Annie. Running the same coin. Do I want to go first? Yes, I'm hoping to start off with an ability. Let's see what we have here. Oop, looks like we got a mole. She didn't mole because I had to click it. Otherwise, I like how the game went. If you guys both mulligan, you both just shuffle it back in. No need to click done. So I'm going to start off here. Start off here. Not the best start because I can't use my ability to draw, but we'll see how this goes. Not terrible. So I always grab one of these guys in case, if anything, it's just Cynthia fodder. And poor Caitlin, I never mentioned her name, but it's honestly just Cynthia fodder. Let's go here. To avoid water energies, I'll put this here. I know I probably should hold on to this, but I like having to force them to kind of waste it, whether it's using a stadium remover or anything. I just like having them wasting it. If they waste it, then, they were probably going to do it anyways. So we'll see how it goes. Oh, we have an Orangaroo with ADP. This is interesting. I don't I don't think I've ever seen. I mean, It's good. Just drawing the two, putting one back. It's very versatile. Oh, he's going to get two energies from this energy spinner. Is it two or is it three? They only do the first effect? I could have sworn if you go second, you get three. Search your deck for three instead of one. Yeah. If you go second, why did they only choose to get one? I'm really confused right now. I don't know why she chose to only get one energy. Oh, there we go. Must not be a very heavy steel version because I would have just dumped all those metal energies in there. Dumped the boss's orders in there. Again, it's a good card. Energy switch, pretty cool. Switch. All right. It's an interesting build, very versatile. Oh, she's going to be able to get her ability out. But you know what? I get the first attack because when you're fighting against an ADP deck, I honestly think going first with ADP is really good, which I like it because it just mitigates your losses. Ooh, let's see what we're going to do here. Very ability heavy. It's funny because this deck would not fly in expanded the way they're running it. I feel like they're just one silent lab away from getting screwed over. And as you can tell, she's getting rid of it. Like, I'm not going to need this right now. Just not going to work. So that boss's orders wasn't going to be useful. Oh, she got two energies on there. That is rough. So what I'm going to do here is Tate and Lisa aren't going to help me out too much, so they're going to get discarded. Honestly, I run so many Cynthia's and Caitlin's that I can usually just make it fodder. So they tend to be fodder to themselves, and then I can just grab this back in case I need to switch later or shuffle my hand in later. Now I get you. Not going to be that useful right now. So there, unfortunately, Keldeo can't block this guy. So we're just going to do Altered Creation. I just didn't want to put this guy down because I didn't want to lose my attacker in case they do that. If I lose the Fion, I lose the Fion. Like, that's not a big deal. But I don't want to place this guy down, get bosses ordered since I know she's running it. Um, Obviously, you're not going to run one boss's orders. You're going to run at least two. So they could have a boss's order, and I don't want to lose my attacker, especially since they're one energy card away. Since they don't have Alter Creation, even Alter Creation plus Vitality Band won't knock out ADP. So I feel fine, confident. Like I said, if they knock out the Fion, I'm not too worried about it. A lot of acro bikes. Discarded a water energy. That's something. That is definitely something. um, that's so interesting. Huh. Well, we'll see how this goes. I'm just very interested. It looks like they're gonna go for all strategies. I honestly am probably just gonna charge up ADP just so I'm able to do another attack because you do kind of want to have that energy out. I've done several games where uh, these guys gets knocked out, all my energy's gone, and then I'm like, great, GG. I didn't get any metal saucers, or they were all in the prize cards. You just kind of have to figure out what you want to do. And another reason why I'm probably going to attack with ADP here is if I do this and I lose them right away, that's pretty much it. Okay, so they're going straight for the attack? Interesting. I would have altered creation right now, but they want to go very aggressive on this. Okay, so I'm going to lose the card. That is not a big deal. Did not get a supporter on that. Again, that's fine. That's just the risk you play when you run it this way. All right, so I am going to lose my Dialga Palkia next turn. Regardless, I mean, that's fine. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to play this down. I'm going to force him to pick one of these. Reason being is essentially what I'm going to do is make either, I'm going to make one of these take damage, which weakens them to an attack from this. And I'm also going to basically, if he pulls this back out, it's fine. Like, I'll deal with it then. I have more Fiones. But for right now, playing this down, I am going to basically kind of get both of them ready. I don't want to invest too much into Zacian. I'm sorry, guys. I know I should know how to pronounce the cards, but to me, they're just cards. So here we go. So I need that water energy here. I need this here. And the benefit of not going too deeply invested in him is I can always grab the switch and Metal Saucer in case I draw one. So that's not too big of an issue, in my opinion. So if they go to knock me out, they still have not used Altered Creation yet. So because they haven't used Altered Creation yet, they're only going to get 3 prizes. That's the same amount I get for knocking out either the Dende, for knocking out the Zacian. Like, I feel like I'm not in the strongest position, honestly. The fact that they have 2 energy cards is scaring me right now. The fact that she has 7 cards left in her deck makes me hopeful. She's burning through resources pretty fast. I literally have half of my deck plus the cards in her deck left in mine. So I have plenty of resources left. They're not in my hand, unfortunately. Not a lot going on in my hand, but they are there. So we'll see how she decides to play this. I'm willing to bet that. Ooh, interesting, because you cannot catch her out as I can. So she's just doing damage on both of them. I'm willing to bet she didn't know that card was printed before V cards were printed, uh, meaning that the effect we know the purpose of the card was to hit hard Pokemon, but unfortunately, because of it, um, you're not able to capture these out. So again, this is one of the reasons why I don't like running cards like this. I've seen people run Pokemon Catcher, and I'm just kind of like, what are you doing? So I'm just gonna go in and knock this out, get my 4 prizes, and just be in a really strong position overall. So I don't need that one. I don't know why I'm doing that. So now I'm going to get my card advantage. I'm going to get these 4 cards. I mean, let's see. Ideally, what would have been great would have been a Zacian and 2 Metal Saucers. Ooh, I have that the Dende, though. That's really good. So I'm guessing there's probably the boss's orders going on here. Oh, nope. GG. I can't see a situation in which she's going to get that. And she's decked out. She can't win. So I'm just. Oh, wait. No. No. Let's see if she gets this heads. Tails. Oof. So again, guys, I like playing it a little defensively. You can see the cost of playing it that defensively. So hopefully you guys like this video. Let me know if you guys prefer the standard, prefer the daily challenge videos. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this one, and I'll see you guys next week.